Hello and welcome to 5th Grade Strings. I am Mr. Casey Newman. Mrs. Post and I are very excited about this year of strings. We always look forward to the enjoyment the kids get out of learning something new, and we appreciate you supporting them in this endeavor. During this presentation, I'll give you all the answers to the questions you may have, and if not, I'll give you contact information for how to ask questions. A big portion of this presentation is about instrument selection. We do have to give some warnings about where not to go to get instruments. It would seem as a parent that you want to make sure your child is really interested in something before you make the investment. But with stringed instruments, it is so easy to get an instrument that sounds terrible, it's difficult to tune, difficult to repair, and really just more of a toy than an instrument, that it can really set your child up for failure before they've even played a note. So these are our cautions on those. These are real world examples that I have picked from the internet this last week. Here's a violin for $34. It's even blue. And yes, we prefer these instruments be like wood colored the way they should be. This looks like a great deal, but again, this is a toy. It would be difficult for me to get a good sound, Mrs. Post to get a good sound on this instrument, because it's just not a good beginner instrument. I found one for $68, which includes the case and the shoulder rest and strings and rosin, and it's all junk. Sorry, but it's just not a good instrument. The big thing here is when something breaks, not if. There's always a string that can break or some issue with the bow. You have no place to take this instrument to get it repaired, and some of our local shops will refuse to repair these online. Check this out. eBay cello, $11. Very tempting for a parent if you're not sure that your fickle child is going to stay with this, but trust me, they will have little to no chance of getting a good sound or being successful in these instruments. We often see horror stories about what comes in the mail from these instruments. So again, no eBay, no Walmart, no Amazon. I encourage you, please rent from a local shop. That is what 100% of our students should be doing. A local shop will have a repair shop. They will have competitive rental prices, and any rental fee that you are paying on an instrument actually builds up the equity in the instrument, so that you could apply it toward a bigger instrument later when the child gets bigger. Terra Nova Violins is one of our local shops we recommend. They are located there on Blanco near North Star Mall, and we've done work with them for years. They do a great job, competitive plans. Antonio Strad has been in San Antonio for a very long time. They build their own instruments. They're high quality. They build sturdy student instruments, and they have competitive pricing. They are at San Pedro, where San Pedro and 281 split, in kind of a pinkish building. Alamo City Strings with Richard and Robin Armstrong. They are now actually part of Hilgi Music, and so their shop is at 18130 San Pedro in the Hilgi Music Store, and they do great work, good instruments. So Alamo City Strings is another one. These three are our main ones that we can recommend because they do have a repair. Another supply they'll need is Essential Elements 2000. It's the method book. They'll need it for their instrument. This is something you could definitely get off Amazon or go to a Barnes & Noble sometimes and find, usually for about $7, $8 or so. This will be a big part of their instruction. I should also tell you that we also provide the kids with another book that we create that's more of a letter book that they will be working a lot out of. We get them comfortable with that before we overwhelm them with the music reading. They'll also need something called First Frets. This is a sticker that basically tells them where to put their fingers. Now, if they play bass or certain types of violas, sometimes they don't have it in that size. They don't make bass ones. So don't worry about that. We can put special tapes on there. But otherwise, they do need to have first fret tapes so they won't become frustrated when we start putting down fingers. Every child will need a folding music stand. This is one area where I I find that oftentimes you find the cheaper ones are sturdier. The less plastic parts they have, the better product they usually are. They will need these for concerts, and they'll need these for class. They'll have to bring these to class. So a lot of times they'll come in a bag. We just suggest label everything because a lot of times these all look alike. Rosin is kind of like hairspray for the bow. It makes it make a nice sound. We will show them how to use it and when to use it. You don't have to buy an expensive rosin, and oftentimes it will come with the outfit that you rent when you rent from the local shop. Because they use rosin on their instrument, they'll also need a soft cloth to wipe the rosin dust off. It'll leave like a white powder on there, and we want to make sure they can clean that off. Doesn't have to be a fancy one like this one. It can just be a nice soft cloth that they use only for wiping off rosin. If your child chooses cello or bass, they will need a rock stop. This keeps the instrument from slipping on the floor, and those come in a variety of colors. They're usually about 3 or 4 inches wide, and they just put their end pin in there to keep it from sliding. If your child chooses violin or viola, they'll need a shoulder rest. You might be thinking, why don't they just put that on the instrument? Well, because the instruments are different sizes, kids are made differently, so shoulder rest is something that they'll have. Viola, that's what it looks like, and that raises up the instrument so they can play. And here we have the class times for this year's classes. Hidden Forest and Thousand Oaks. First day will be October 19th. Those classes will be Mondays and Wednesdays. Mondays will be a Zoom live class, 3:30 to 4 p.m. And Wednesdays we'll drop a video into their Google Classroom. Coker's first day will be October 20th. And their days will be Tuesday and Thursday. Tuesdays, 3:30 to 4, Zoom live. And Thursdays we will drop a video into their Google Classroom. Thank you for supporting them. Thank you for putting them in this program. And if you have any questions, again, email me or Mrs. Post, and we'll be happy to help you out. Thanks.